If you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. I'm drunk. Let's get it. GMS fam, the green room. What's going on? Happy Wednesday. I feel good today, man. I am a little inebriated. And I am sorry if the show doesn't last as long as you would like today. But just know I went to a Twins game. I got nice and drunk. And we won with a walk-off home run. So I feel great. And I don't necessarily care for baseball but it was a good time, man. It was nice weather. You know what I'm saying? It was just a good time overall. Shout out to my fam I went with, and shout out to the Twins. You know, we start out every show with peace, love, positive energy, good vibes, passing it forward, hoping that you pass it along as well. I'm hoping that everybody is having a good week so far. I know it's Wednesday, a couple more days till Friday, but the weekend is close, man. Never fear, the days pass like the fucking wind. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I see you, JR Miller, Simo, Glittery Bubbles, Infinite Umbra. He said, Glittery said, what the hell did Hunter Biden do now? Infinite said, was it crack? Well, I don't know. But whatever it was, this nigga was weighing on that scale. It was white and it was solid. So either it was good crack or good coke, whatever it was, that man was not pleased by the fact that bitch shorted him. He said, you know what? I'm about to take this picture. I'm finna send it to this motherfucker, and I'm gonna put my face in it with the cigarette to let her know I am not playing no games. I want my 0.2 grams, bitch. She shorted my man his crack, and he did not know what to do about it. I had to talk about this because it's funny to me. And I can't lie, man, especially now, like, you know, fuck it. I'm drunk. I'm gonna just be honest. This shit's funny to me. It's funny. It's fucking hilarious, bro. And it's funny to me because it be politicians out here who advocate for shit and they try to tear down and judge everybody else. Meanwhile, through our whole entire lifetimes, all we've seen is their own children being involved in the same exact shit they are trying to act like they are against. And even if it isn't their children, it's themselves. It's all an agenda, man. And it's funny because the way that this is out And the way that this nigga Joe Biden is just trying to skip past this and ignore it, it makes all the stuff that he did back in the day seem more of a malicious attack on the public than it did him actually giving a damn about the drugs in the streets. Let me turn this music off so y'all can hear this, man. It's a side-by-side. It's a side-by-side of Joe Biden back in the day talking about Krenak. And on the right is his son, Hunter Biden, who in today's time generation is currently smoking it. Just watch this.
If you have a piece of crack cocaine no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand, 1/4 of $1, we passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice. Under our forfeiture statutes, the government can take everything you own. Everything from your car to your house, your bank account.
He said, you tell him, Dad.
Not merely what they confiscate in terms of the dollars from the transaction that you've just got caught engaging in. They can take everything.
Tell them, Pops.
I don't care why they become a sociopath. We have an obligation to cordon them off from the rest of society. They are in jail, away from my mother, your husband, our families. So
Fear-mongering 101. Let me just stop that video while he's ahead. Fear-mongering 101. Sitting up there talking about what crack does to people and talking about, hey, you can't have this. You can't have this around my mother or my father or my loved one. See, Joe Biden is doing a good job at trying to put this shit on the back burner. If you show his son doing anything random, they're going to try to block you out. They're going to try to skip you out. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to shut down this stream right now. But guess what? I don't care. I'm drinking beer. YouTube, you can suck my dick. And Joe Biden, you's a bitch. Hunter Biden, keep smoking crack and let these people know what you about, man. Show the real about yourself, man. These politicians are bitches, and they sit up here and try to act like they are holier than thou, better than the next, and try to set laws for a bunch of people that they don't fucking know. Meanwhile, they should be handling business at home. Fuck is you talking about? Now look at this dude. He got confronted. Now here's another part of society I need to be real about. Watch this.
On dealing with gun violence.
What do you think about Hunter?
Because make no mistake. Sit down, you'll hear what I have to say.
What do you think about Hunter, your son? There's a video of him arguing with a hooker about how much crack he has. What do you think about that, Mr. President?
Okay? Because make no mistake about it.
Let me be very clear. All right? Look at how Joe Biden is looking at that man right now. There was a man at his press briefing, press conference, whatever it is, where he was just talking about whatever the shit he was talking about. Somebody stood up and said, hey, what do you think about Hunter Biden, your son, being mad about getting shorted on his crack and being with hookers and blah, 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 blah. Look at me. I'm part of some coalition on the internet that's about trying to call out the hierarchy. Let me tell you something, man. As much as you feel like you are doing something, you are only about to get yourself. That look Joe Biden was giving him was the look of, hey, he pulled his ear. He said, hey, get this motherfucker out of here. We probably won't be seeing that nigga next month. These motherfuckers can be wrong in all ways, shape, and form. But please remember that these are high-ranked officials in this country. And this country is full of criminals and bullshit, lying ass politicians. They're the same anyway. If Joe Biden wanted to get that man whacked, he would have been whacked just for talking that shit about his son. This is why I really don't deep dive into politics like that, man. Because if you really go back and look at the breadcrumbs and look at the past shit and look at how things have unfolded, a lot of these people that have made traction trying to go against the higher powers have ended up either dead, in jail, or their name in smut because they don't want people to believe what these people are saying. I'm not going to spend too much time on Joe Biden. I got so much other shit to talk about. I just wanted to go in on this. I didn't even go in on the son. I just wanted to show his son smoking crack on the stream. Is that too bad? Is that too much to get out? I just wanted his son to be on the stream smoking crack because of all those fucking years, this motherfucker talking about the war on drugs, the crack epidemic, all these shits that he had in place. Joe Biden, guess what? Your son turned out to be what you feared. A goddamn crackhead. You talking about having this shit around your mother, around your people, around the people you love. Guess what? It's in your home. It was your own seed. This nigga swam from your nutsack and made it to the goddamn egg, and he started smoking crack. Imagine you beat all your siblings in a race for the millions, man. Millions and millions of you motherfuckers is racing, and you won only to come out and smoke crack. That's what you got to deal with, Joe Biden. And I hope you take that to heart. Now, speaking of taking things to heart, yesterday a video surfaced of hip-hop legend, amazing lyricist. Let me not play with that title, man, because me being an artist myself, I respect those who stick to the origins of what we call hip hop. Shout out to Styles P. Yesterday in front of Juices for Life, a store owned by Styles P, I believe that's what they said. I'm thinking this is the location. I could be wrong, but this is what was being reported. Outside of his Juices for Life business, there was altercation with NYPD and a young black woman, to where Styles intervened, and this is what happened. We're gonna talk about this after we get done watching this. It's about a minute long.
Yo, you're broken. Hello.
No, under arrest.
I'm recording.
Facts, Trey.
I'm recording. He's a bitch. I know he is.
No, keep recording.
I'm recording.
Yo, keep recording,
I
man.
hope your camera's on because you did
Yo,
it the last
sister,
time at the
loosen
water.
up. Loosen up.
Loosen up. Please do.
Sister, relax.
Please.
Yo, you's a hoe,
That's
bro.
a girl too, by the
You's
way.
a fucking hoe, man.
That's a girl, by the way.
Yo,
And I
you's a
got you
whole
on camera.
bitch.
I hope you got me on
You's
camera.
a whole bitch. I'ma back up. Don't touch me.
I hope you got me on camera.
Yeah, you scared too.
I hope you got this on camera.
You bet.
I hope yeah, you need to back up.
Keep running up.
You need to back up,
Keep
mister.
recording me.
You need to back
Keep
up.
recording me.
You
I'ma
need to
back
back
up.
up. You need to back up. You need to back up.
Slammed up girl.
That's a
For
female.
no reason.
That's a female. Hope your camera's
She's on
on.
the floor.
That's a female.
Standing over
That's
there,
a fucking
standing on the floor the
female.
whole time.
That's a fucking female. You a bitch, nigga. Yeah.
Now, if you could hear everything through the melee, basically, Styles was calling the other officer a bitch repeatedly. The other responding officer got up, approached Styles P. Styles put his hand up and said, "You saw what happened." And with the words of Styles P, he said the other officer, who was still down arresting and subduing the woman on the ground, he slammed her. Now, it's always these cases where we don't see what happened beforehand and we always get the reaction afterwards. But just knowing like how Styles moves, I don't know Styles P personally. I don't know his family personally. I've never spent a day around this nigga, not even a minute. Oh, I did go to a show one time though, which is another funny story. Side note, I went to a Styles P concert and I tried to pass him a joint while he was on stage. He said, "Hey, no disrespect, fam, but I seen Friday. I don't accept random joints. You go ahead and enjoy that." And everybody started laughing. I laughed my goddamn self. I said, "I get it. And I lit that motherfucker. But what he also did was sent over the fucking vultures walking over to me talking about, ooh, you got a joint. You got some weed. Anyway, Style seems like a stand-up guy, and he seems like he doesn't just do shit for no reason, which is another reason why I told that story. You know, some people may be in the moment and be like, hey, somebody's passing me a joint, one of the fans, let me grab that shit and smoke it. But he kept it real, and I take those moments and be like, all right, this person is who they say they are. This person does what they want to do and not what other people want them to do. So I take that instance and I apply it to the person. So when I see this video and I see what happened and I see him stand up for what's going on, I believe his account of the situation. We don't see Styles P out here doing no extra shit where he's just trying to catch a police officer up or catch white people up doing random shit. Nah, this was something that I feel was so random that it just so happened to happen in front of him. And even though I applaud him for doing so, I also need Styles to realize that these police officers don't give a fuck about your status, how many records you sold. They don't care about any of that. And they will kill you just like the next man. And putting yourself in harm's way, even though it may seem dumb, it is also very noble. So on the flip side of that, given his status, given the records he sold, given his love and respect within this genre, within this art form, he said, fuck all that. There is a young black woman who I don't know being mistreated by the police. I am willing to put my life on the line for that. You may call it dumb, you may call it not irresponsible, but I commend him for doing that. You know, shout out to Styles P, man. And that's somebody who keeps it authentic all the way around, man. And it's crazy because somebody like Styles P could see some shit going on in his business that has nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing to do with him, and intervene, ultimately putting his life on the line. But you got officers out in Texas, Uvalde to be exact, Robb Elementary to be even more exact, who allowed one man to go into a school and execute 19 children and 2 teachers. So if you guys didn't know, there was footage that was released of the Robb Elementary School massacre, and it showed police officers of Uvalde, Texas, hiding and running from gunfire. You know, the guys that have guns on them themselves, you know, the guys that have shotguns and ARs in their whole fucking cars themselves. Yeah, they were running from gunfire, hiding, checking their phones, and, you know, getting some hand sanitizer because you don't want none of that dead child on your hands, right? Now, I'm not gonna show you the surveillance footage that they posted. You can find that for yourself on the internet. But I will say, children who are in danger, now is your firsthand experience on your trust for law enforcement and what they would do if you were in this situation. And I honestly wonder if there was any consequences behind these officers' actions. If you're sworn to protect, see, sworn to protect isn't just meaning you are obligated to put your life on the line. That's what you signed up for. You have to go in wearing that badge and uniform knowing that you could die today. That's what you signed up for. Did nobody make you do that shit? So the fact that these officers took it upon themselves to protect themselves at the end of the day and not the children in the school, they should not be police officers anymore at all. They should get their badges stripped, and they also need to face other consequences because lives were lost due to their incompetence and due to their negligence. I couldn't believe the footage I watched. This kid crashed the car, got out, shot at other motherfuckers, and made it to the elementary school. This wasn't your average school shooting. This wasn't somebody who had this plotted and walked in to a school and then took out guns and started shooting. This was somebody who was outside of the school first on a high-speed chase. The police was already chasing this man. And somehow he made it into an elementary school and killed 19 children and 2 teachers. Hey man, those guys got to get fired. They got to get the fuck up out of here. I wouldn't be somebody who lives in Uvalde, Texas and feel safe or feel like I can depend on law enforcement to protect me if something like this could happen. And I bring that up for a reason, man. It's crazy because like the same people who will have a Blue Lives Matter sticker or a blue or a black flag with a blue line across it type of sticker on a car, these are the people you vouch for, you dumb motherfuckers. You vouch for these guys. The same people who wouldn't even protect your child if somebody came into their school to try to kill them. You put a sticker on your car, you wear a shirt, and you put up hashtags on the internet for these same motherfuckers. How dumb of you. Oh, delusional ass motherfuckers, man. Let's keep pushing forward. Speaking of delusional, this is a great segue to talk about this shit, man. So T-Pain was recently on DJ Academic's Twitch show, and they had a conversation on there, and I wanted to bring this up because this doesn't just apply to who T-Pain was talking about. This applies to a lot of people, not just artists, but even regular everyday individuals. Now, if you didn't hear T-Pain explain to DJ Academics why Chris Brown suffers from the princess complex. If you don't know what the princess complex is, well, let me go ahead and turn this music off and give y'all.
That is my motherfucking nigga.
Okay.
But I know what his faults are. Chris Brown has the
Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to spark this joint up.
What does that mean?
Now, a lot of niggas don't know what the princess complex is. Now, we're gonna take this to something that is controversial, but it's not controversial. So basically, the princess complex is when a young girl grows up in a family or in the surroundings where every day she gets called a princess, she gets called pretty, she's the prettiest girl in the world, blah, 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 blah. All that shit.
A spoiled bitch, basically.
It's not spoiled. It's not spoiled. Spoiled is different. Spoiled is just when you get what you want, when you cause a fuss about something.
Okay.
The princess complex is when you not only get what you want, but you get the accolades of a pretty person for doing absolutely fucking nothing and just being pretty. Now,
how do you overcome that then?
No.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
This is a good conversation, by the way. I want to play this whole thing.
That the first real motherfucker comes to you and say, "Hey, you ain't that fucking pretty." It's over.
Now, let me stop it there before I play the rest, because I brought this up from personal experiences too. People I've known in my life who suffer from the princess complex, the people that are used to people giving them praise and props all the time but can never be real with them about anything else. And then the first time they hear something they perceive as negative, they lose their mind. Now, what he's talking about is, as far as Chris Brown's album sales and shit, I don't know if you guys know, but people pay attention and get bent out of shape about album sales because they want to be the biggest artist or the biggest streaming artist or sell the most albums or whatever the case may be, even though that shit literally doesn't matter anymore. It's like it's a pissing contest for a lot of these top artists, and people like Chris Brown will see that he doesn't do the same numbers he did 5-10 years ago and start to have a meltdown without even realizing that he could still go and sell out a fucking arena. It'll bring people, it'll bring their ego and it'll bring their confidence all the way down, even though they're still great at what they do. Now listen to the rest of what T-Pain had to say.
Breakdown, Twitter outrage, everything. Now this is my nigga, and I'm not saying that he has this. I'm just saying that here's the trills and the trails of it. I'm just saying, my nigga, if he put out the tweets that I saw, if that was actually him, then yeah, maybe there's a little princess aspect to it, to where it's like, what the fuck are y'all doing? I'm supposed to be famous. Y'all supposed to be my fans, and I get that, but I've never been a numbers guy. I've never been the top numbers guy. So I've always been able to differentiate when people actually like my shit and then when it's just the same or when it's not dope or anything like that. So I've been able to say, all right, I mean, that makes sense. I'll just go back to the drawing board.
That makes sense, Glittery. I'm going to say that. That was part of some of the things that I was going to say about this princess complex. Glittery says, what do you expect? He's been compared to Michael Jackson since he came out. Then Michael Jackson dies and no one fills the void, so he gets the slot by himself. Now, this is another reason why we as a culture have to stop comparing artists. We have to really embrace and accept people's individuality, because we put expectations on them that they cannot reach. And when you say things like that, expectations that they can't reach, they feel like somebody is more talented than them or better than them, or they can never be as good as somebody, when in reality, it's because you have individuality. You guys are great in your own way. Michael Jackson can't do what Chris Brown does, and Chris Brown cannot do what Michael Jackson does, because both of them are individuals. And we have to stop doing that to us specifically, especially in this culture, especially in music. We try to compare our artists to the greats. We try to compare our athletes to the greats. These are different generations. These are different times in life. These are two different, totally different, talented individuals. Once we start bringing it back to the individual, we won't have to worry about these motherfuckers dealing with mental breakdowns, because the majority of people didn't listen or like their music. These people would pay more attention about the demographic of people who do fuck with them than the people that don't. It contributes to that. When you start telling people, oh, you are comparing people to Michael Jackson or any other great artists out there, you start putting a label on them that they chase and that they cannot accomplish, because they will never be that artist. And it sends them into a mental spiral, because they're trying to keep up with other people's expectations instead of their own. I cannot stress it enough, man. For artists out there, creatives, please pay attention to what you like and what you are talented at and what you can achieve and what you can create. Because the more you pay attention to other people's success or other people's accomplishments, it'll be the quickest way for you to self-destruct. And that is a fact. I had to step away from looking at other people's success or looking at other people that was around me doing things that I wasn't doing and feeling some type of way about it, because that wasn't me. See, the problem with people looking at other people's shit and talking shit or hating on them is because deep down in all reality, it's a place they want to be in. And I'm not ashamed to say that because I've outgrew that mentality. See, when you outgrow some of the toxic traits within you, it'll be easier for you to talk about those things and try to help other people get away from that type of shit. So if you're somebody who constantly is looking at somebody else's success or improvements or progress or any of that shit, what I will say is the one thing you take from it is motivation and wanting to do better for yourself. Never look at it in a way where you have to be jealous or where you have to be envious or where you feel like you want to see them fail because you're not doing what they are doing. Their path is not your path. You're still on yours. Can't nobody's success knock you off your path in life. Please pay attention to those words, man, and take that shit with you.
Not really a big deal, but Chris, on the other hand, every time he drops anything, I don't give a fuck how many tracks it got on it, people buy it. So now that it hasn't done that initial thing, it's like, fuck is wrong with y'all? It's never gonna be what the fuck is wrong with me, or what do I need to change, or how can I approach this differently? It's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Something's wrong with y'all right now. Because usually when I do this thing that I like, y'all jump and y'all do this thing. What the fuck is going on?
What did he say about Pac now? What the fuck did T-Pain? I said T.I. What the fuck did T-Pain say about Pac now? Let's find that. Let's see. Let's see. You have me intrigued now. Let's see. Let's see. T-Pain bugging talking about. Let's see.
Can't nobody.
Oh, whoop, I almost got my ass copywritten stricken. I thought that was a video of T-Pain talking about it. Let's see what he said.
If Instagram and Twitter were popping, like when Pac was like beefing, like imagine how entertaining that would have been.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like, yeah, and this gonna be some bullshit. And
Pac would have got killed sooner.
People going, nah, not Pac wouldn't have got. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Pac would have got killed sooner.
Yes.
And he would have got his ass ate the fuck up.
Whoa, what?
Hey, yo.
Lyricism wise.
Yeesh. Whoa. Okay. Garsh. That deserved a goofy garsh. Garsh. What the fuck is this nigga talking about? Let me say this, man. When it comes to who you feel is a great artist, it is subjective. But one thing that is a fact is that the feeling is something you cannot duplicate. It's original. It's authentic. Tupac was not the best lyricist in the world, but Tupac could give you a line and you would feel it no matter what he said. There's power in the voice. There's power in the chords. There's power in the words. And you don't have to be the most lickety, splickety, biggity, biggity. You don't have to be that type of fucking rapper to get your fucking point across and to make somebody feel something. Pac made people feel something, and that is bigger than anybody sitting around trying to read a dictionary to try to find the biggest, best word to use in the next line. I am not one of those consumers of music that is sitting up there trying to figure out what the fuck you just meant in your metaphors. It's cool. I like it because at the end of the day, it is something to celebrate in the way that it's authentic. It's something that not the average person can do. Not the average person can come up with a million metaphors that are new and that will attract the listener because there's so many fucking artists out there. But at the end of the day, the feeling is what is going to win the listener over at it, no matter what. I won a competition. I'm going to flex for a little bit. I won a competition, a rap competition. Shout out to Go 95, 95.3. It's a hip hop station that is out here that is no longer exist anymore. And I'm glad that I got the chance to be a part of something that they did while they were here. They brought a lot of major artists out here. They did a lot for the local scene. Shout out to Shut Up and Rap. I was a part of that competition. I won it twice. Listen, the first time I ever won, I was up against one of the type of artists that was like pop or like the catchy type of shit, and I was up against somebody who was lyrical, miracle, spiritual, all types of shit. One thing that I knew I could do, though, was capture a fucking feeling. And when I perform, I make sure I perform with every single person in that room in mind. Even if it's I don't give a fuck who's watching me, I pay attention and I don't miss a beat. The feeling is what captured the judges, what captured the audience, and what brought me to the point of winning that shit. Not that I was a better lyricist than this guy or that I made better music than the other guy. It was because the feeling captured them motherfuckers. So don't ever in your life feel like you have to pay attention to certain shit, man. Just let that shit catch you. If it catches you, it does. If you like more than one genre, man. Music is subjective. If you like the shit, listen to the shit. Now, I have a question for y'all. Something else happened. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I have a great ending to this whole podcast. I have some things to read off to you for motivation for those that are watching today. But something that came across my feed yesterday that rubbed me the wrong way, man. Shout out to Cowboy. Cowboy is I think he's rolling 60s. But either way, he's a Crip from Los Angeles. He was real good friends with Nipsey Hussle. He was there the day Nipsey was shot and killed. He was also the first person to get to Nipsey after Nipsey was shot by Eric Holder. He decided to take the stand to talk about the fact that Nipsey did not provoke that man to kill him and did not call him a snitch. Which led to the fact that people on Clubhouse, you know, the most revering and most respectful platform of all, Clubhouse, starring Whack 100, the wackest of them all, calling him a snitch because he got on the stand. Man, street rules, street regulations, street whatever the fuck you want to call it is the dumbest shit in the fucking world. It is the dumbest shit in the fucking world, bro. And I will never back this shit a day in my life. I will never agree with it. I will never side with it. I will forever be against street rules just because of how contradicting it is and of the fact that it has only destroyed our community. It has never done one thing in a positive way to help and preserve our community. It has only destroyed our community, and people still try to live by that shit, even in their 40s and 50s like some dumb niggas. This man watched one of his brothers lose his life, literally life slipping away from that man. He watched that shit only for people to turn around and call him a snitch for going on the stand to talk about what happened that day. I couldn't believe this. had this man. I'm only gonna play a couple minutes of this shit so y'all can hear how fucking dumb it sounds. Listen to this. This is Cowboy entering a clubhouse chat with Whack 100, arguing about him taking the stand during Nipsey's murder trial.
That nigga, the world is reporting everybody to take the stand.
Exactly. So now, what did I say to anything?
Bro, listen, bro.
Don't say nothing to the police, nigga. Nigga, you is the police. You online talking about you funding wars that you giving out guns. Nigga, you the police.
Point out your own homeboy.
How you gonna get online? How you gonna get online and say you funding world? You giving the 60s guns. Nigga, you the police. Nigga.
He said he never pointed out.
I never got online, you bitch ass nigga. I was on the phone. And I didn't give it to the 60s,
nigga.
Get
the fuck out of here, nigga. Get the fuck out of here.
You don't know what I did, bro.
You was a cloud chaser, nigga.
You don't know what I did.
You wasn't nothing till Nip died, nigga. You wasn't shit till Nip died.
Nip ain't made me, nigga.
Bitch ass nigga.
Nigga, the Paul Roos put Nip on. Fuck you mean?
Man, you knock it
He
off.
came on our tour. We don't go on his.
Yeah, nigga.
Man, you sound stupid, bro.
Nigga, you needed some help.
You sound stupid.
I was on that tour.
You sound stupid.
I took the LAX tour, nigga.
Listen to these confused ass niggas on Clubhouse.
Tour, nigga. You was quiet.
40 plus, by the way.
That nigga came on our tour. We didn't go on his.
Yeah, I was the nigga crip walking on stage, nigga. I was there, nigga.
You crip walk on stage all you want. We don't give a fuck.
Nigga.
We don't care about you crip walking on. Did you crip walk to the stand?
Yeah. All in the hallway. All in the hallway.
Fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, all right.
Nigga get mad because he took the stand. That's crazy, bro.
Oh, no, ain't nobody mad, nigga. I'm mad.
Nigga, what you talking about?
Because your buster ass keep putting my bro name in your mouth, nigga. Keep my bro name out your mouth.
Man, I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about,
well,
nigga.
There you go. That's why you inside, though. Come outside.
I just got in the house an hour ago.
Man, nigga, that value shit don't count.
What you mean, bro?
All right. I hear you. I got you, bro. I got you,
What you going to do? You going to take the stand on me?
Nah,
Whack was outside all night?
No, but I better put hands on you, though.
Hey, bro, you know what's crazy? The nigga Big Chuck, the one had the room, right? I ain't do a room on this nigga. Big Chuck do the room. That shit didn't happen in my room. This nigga, yeah, but I think he clout chasing.
Now they with this gay ass nigga 6'9", and y'all been 69 with this fag ass.
Man, that nigga was in your alley, bro. You should have dealt with that when he was in your alley, bro.
Yeah, you and his son.
Okay, bro.
You and his son.
Good point. And that's where I don't want to spend no more time on that ignorant bullshit. But good point. How are you on Clubhouse, Whack 100, talking about street rules, and you manage a snitch, not only a snitch, but a Mexican snitch who snitched on black people? Now, for ignorant motherfuckers in the back, they'll just think that I just mentioned the fact that he's Mexican just to try to make some type of divide between Mexicans and blacks. No, we're talking about Whack 100, a Pyru from California who has problems with Mexican gangs because the Mexican gangs are racist towards black gangs in LA. That even goes for New York. But you manage a snitch who's also, oh man, you know what? Not my demographic. I just know that shit don't make fucking sense to me. But that's how delusional and that's how contradicting that whole lifestyle is, bro. And then having this man sit up here yelling and losing his voice over trying to explain why he went to the stand to protect his homeboy's legacy, somebody who he gives a fuck about. This nigga doesn't give a fuck about anybody else on that fucking Clubhouse call. He's trying to do better by Nipsey Hussle. See, our ego and that street rule, street code shit has buried our minds so deep to the point where we do some goofy shit like this. I wouldn't have to explain shit to nobody. I'm a grown ass man. Fuck your street rules. Fuck what the fuck your code is. You mean to tell me y'all will allow somebody to do something to your loved one unprovoked out of nowhere just for the fuck of it. And because of the street rules, you ain't gonna say shit. You're not gonna try to help get justice for that person that you said you love. That's why the streets have no love. That's why the streets are fake. The streets are a myth. You care about the street rules and you care about the so-called brothers around you. And like I said before, I'll never co-sign that shit. And I'm not gonna end it on that motion. I'm gonna end it on this motion. You see this? Shout out to Joyner Lucas, man. I gotta put this up here. Now, Joyner Lucas posted something on his Facebook page, his artist Facebook page. He said, for anybody trying to break into the music industry, I outlined a list of 20 things you should know, things I personally went through and mistakes I have made or mistakes I've seen other people make. Disclaimer, this is a long and informative post, so skip if you don't want to read. Even though he labeled this as breaking into the music industry, this is something that I think can apply to everybody's life, whether or not you want to jump into your own business or succeed in any avenue, whether it be music, entertainment, whatever. All right, listen up. And I'm doing this for y'all. I already read this shit. I'm already taking heed to these words. When I say peace, love, and positivity and passing it forward, this is part of that passing it forward. I'm passing it to y'all right now. Number 1, it says, stop hiring your friends and family to be a manager or CEO and run the business. I understand you want to hold them down, but the majority has no idea what the fuck they are doing, and the personal relationship makes niggas too comfortable. Find someone who knows what they doing. Keep family, friends, and business separate. This includes hiring family members to work for you in any capacity. At some point, you will regret it. And that's a fact. Number 2, put out as much music as you can, blah, 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 blah. Don't even want to pay attention to that. I want to bring this up too, because I've seen a lot of niggas doing this. Number 3, he says, paying for views on YouTube is working against you. Not only that, but it's obvious you paid. Your views don't match your comments. LOL. If your video has 2,000 views today and tomorrow it has 250K views and 22 comments, you're still in the same position, my nigga. Just saying. And that is a fact. A lot of these niggas think they can get shortcuts. It's only worked for a few. These guys think that they can get the shortcut and be like, hey, if I pay for views and I pay for follows, these companies, these record labels will see this, or somebody will notice it, somebody will share it, somebody will do something, and I'll create a big fan base, do shows, and I'll get some money. But in reality, it takes more than just paying for views. You got to be outside. Number 4, there are no shortcuts. You cannot skip steps. You have to go through it. You have to struggle in order to learn how to have the hunger you need to get where you need to go. You will end up failing or falling 1,000 times before you can stand. Number 5, talent is 10% of the battle. This is very important because a lot of people think just because you can rap or sing, that is an automatic check or it's automatic notoriety for you. That is not the case. They don't give a fuck how talented you are. You got to bring something to the table. Let me finish reading. Your determination and how bad you want it is 50%, and the other 40% is relationships. You can be as talented as Drake and Eminem and Jay-Z and Chris Brown, but if you don't have the same hunger they had, then you a dub, which means you will fail. That means taking advantage of every opportunity, sacrificing everything, and staying focused. That means saying no to fun nights out with your peoples and staying in the studio instead. That means valuing relationships and understanding how to leave good impressions on everyone. You never know how you can change your life. If you mix all that with the talent, you will win. 6, nobody has to do shit for you. All capital letters. Please don't get caught up in the mindset that people have to support you. I see a lot of you niggas say shit like nobody wants to support until it's too late. LOL, fuck support. You're supposed to create the support based off the talent. If nobody supports you, then work harder, period. You can't cry because you don't have fans. People will support when they believe. If they don't support, then you haven't earned it. Make better music. 7, stop following trends and what's in right now. Be you. You will never get anywhere if you're trying to be the newest version of the newest artist. Create your own wave and be you. Trends change every day. Don't become a trend. Be timeless. Gotta spark the joint for that one. Number 8. Stop spending so much money on studio time and invest in a laptop, Pro Tools, and a microphone and some headphones. Teach yourself how to engineer. Learn to do more than just one thing besides just record. Teach yourself how to make beats. Stop spending so much money on music videos and invest in a camera. Teach yourself how to shoot your own videos. The less you can depend on other people, the more you can do yourself, and you save money. You buy your own shit, then you can practice as much as you want until you master it. The more well-rounded you become, the more valuable you become, and the more money you make. This is 100% fact, because as the years moved on, I've paid attention to music. I've paid attention to these artists. I've paid attention to the ones that have had longevity. Not just the one-hit wonders, not just the people that was hyped for a minute. The people that have longevity in this business are multi-talented individuals. People that can rap, write, produce, sing, engineer, play instruments, all of the above. They are looking for basically circus shows, if you want to put it that way. But if you're talented enough, that brings in more revenue. Number 9, the money plays a major part in the success of you. So you will need an investor at some point. That could be a label or just one person. The money goes to marketing, discretionary budget for flights, hotels, and rentals when traveling to perform. Music videos, studio time, photo shoots, production, etc. You will be surprised at how fast the money goes. Sometimes artists even pay for publicists to help them help with visibility, and that includes blogs and other things. Other things help as well, such as features or tour spots, which means if you get a feature from a big artist or get a chance to be on tour with a bigger artist, you will get your name out there. This is Joyner Lucas, who we're talking about right now, who has had a very nice and successful career so far. He started out on YouTube. Number 10 says there's no right way or wrong way to make it. There is no blueprint. What worked for some don't mean it will work for you. This is the most important one I want y'all to pay attention to. This goes back to what I was saying earlier about paying attention to other people's success and their progress, and why you should not do that, and why it does not matter how fast they blew up or what they've done or who they're connected to. It only matters about your path. What worked for some don't mean it will work for you. What worked for Soulja Boy didn't work for Joyner Lucas, and what worked for Joyner Lucas ain't work for the baby, and what worked for the baby ain't work for you. Soulja Boy broke on YouTube, Joyner broke on Facebook, the baby broke on IG. These are all 3 different platforms that they have made it to where they were able to be noticed and break out from that point. It's not that it can work for you if you do the same thing they do. You have to find your own lane. Learn the contracts. Understand the laws and understand how to read shit. Don't just be signing shit because you're excited. Them contracts are binding and can have consequences that will leave you assed out. I don't want to read that again. It's self-explanatory. Please understand that contracts are one of the main reasons why a lot of these artists go broke, because they don't pay attention to the shit. 12, not every opportunity comes in form of money. You know how many opportunities I took advantage of, even though it wasn't always fair. I might not have made money then and there, but I understood the long-term benefits. Please realize that some opportunities isn't always a cash grab, but may equal to a long-term financial opportunity if you play your cards right. Stop spamming your links. That was number 13. There's no more to say about that. Stop surrounding yourself with yes men. You need niggas to be honest with you. Not everything you do is fire. Not every song you make is lit. Some of you niggas are delusional and blame it on your friends. You need some friend haters. These are the people who gonna tell you when your shit sucks. They are gonna be responsible for the reason you don't put out trash. If you can impress a friend hater, then you can impress anyone. I keep a few friend haters in my circle and they hear everything before it comes out. Get you some friend haters ASAP and don't get mad at the truth. Man, I could go all day about that. But just know that I'm happy that I have people in my circle today that understand that specifically. Number 16, you're not going to make money right now. After hundreds and thousands was spent, it took me 6 to 7 years before I actually started making money. In that time, I was building a core fan base. I never stopped believing that I was going to get where I needed to go. My belief and hard work is the reason my investor never stopped spending. The moment I ever started slacking off and fucking up, then my investor would have stopped spending. For that reason, I never put myself in situations that was going to ruin my opportunity. If you find someone who puts the bag for you, don't fuck it up. I am giving y'all some words of wisdom from somebody who is in the game and actually been through the process. Please understand that you need to take these words literal. 17, stay the fuck out the streets and stay in the studio. None of these niggas who been in the streets in their music videos be really in the streets in real life. Almost all these niggas got security, and after the director yells cut, they all go back to their mansions in Beverly Hills. The niggas who really live in that street shit is facing charges right now or dead. You dumb niggas follow suit because you think it's cool and fuck shit up for yourselves before you get a chance to get on. Stay in the studio and stop trying to impress other men. Let me say that again. Stay in the studio and stop trying to impress other men. Either that or get you a female and surround yourself with women. If not, then you just a crash dummy. No investor trying to invest in a nigga who be in the streets, because at that point, you just a liability. Why would anybody want to put bread behind a nigga who on his way to the end up in prison? That's a horrible investment. Stay out the streets and focus, my nigga. Number 19. Fuck all the distractions. This could mean relationships, friends, drugs, alcohol, parties, clubs, school, etc. Anything distracting you from getting to where you need to go. If it doesn't line up with the end goal, then you need to have self-discipline. Being rich is a mindset. It's more than about the now. It's about the future. It's about being more on point than everyone else. With money comes power. With power comes responsibility. You can't be responsible if you're making choices that can fuck up your money. This means you're going to have to let a lot of shit go, which leads to number 20. Last but not least, be prepared to lose family and friends, lots of them. Success brings out the worst in people. You will see colors you never seen before. You will see a lot of side. You will see a different side of life you never knew existed. Be prepared to see those closest to you fall one by one. None of these things can be avoided unless you never make it out. Fame and success is bittersweet. It sucks, I know, but it comes with it. Some will stay down. You will easily be able to distinguish the real from the fake. Some will take more time than others to spot. These will be the closest people to you. Best advice I can give you is to let it happen. If you are anything like me, sooner or later you will be numb to it. It's the price of fame, riches, and success. More money, more problems, well worth it, because then at least you know who's who. All this will make you strong. I had to take my time to read that out, because those are words that I feel like people can use and take with them and utilize through life, whether you want to be in the music industry, entertainment, or just you want to build your own business and your own brand and you want to be successful at it. Take those tips that you just heard right there and apply that shit to your life. GMS fam, the green room. Today has been a wonderful show. If you haven't hit the like button, make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Follow me on my socials. I'll follow everybody back. Hit the Cash App if you are feeling generous. Make sure you leave a comment at the end of this video when the live is over. Put a GMS in the chat. Hope y'all enjoyed yourself. Thank y'all everybody who pulled up and participated in the chat today. I appreciate y'all. GMS fam, we out. I dropped the joint.